Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's afternoon everywhere in Europe as we speak, and it's our pleasure, Nolly and I, to welcome you to the launch of the Guinness Six Nations 2019, a time of year where, if you're anything like myself and Danielle, you get hugely excited about the renewed rivalries, the great friendships made, and most importantly of all, the prospect of watching the greatest rugby championship play out over the next 7 weeks.
Shortly, Will and I are looking forward to speaking to all of the captains of this year's championships and getting an insight into how their preparations are going and how they think the Guinness Six Nations will turn out. But before we do, we'd like to hand over to the chairman of the Six Nations, Pat Whelan.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 2019 Guinness Six Nations launch. With a little over a week to go until the start of the 2019 Guinness Six Nations, we are indeed looking forward to what promises to be another sensational 7 weeks of rugby. This year's championship promises once again to deliver huge excitement, and in a Rugby World Cup year, each team will indeed be hungry to perform and gather momentum. Next weekend, the tournament kicks off in style with an exciting French side entertaining an informed Wales in Paris on Friday evening. On Saturday afternoon, Scotland welcome Italy to Murrayfield, and later that evening in Dublin, the opening weekend will finish with the very small matter of a match between Ireland and England. We look forward to another superb Women's Six Nations Championship. The women's game and our own World Women's Championship is growing in popularity each year and becoming more and more of a spectacle, and this year's tournament is shaping up to be no different. I would like to thank as well the six unions and their staff for their unwavering support, commitment and indeed dedication in the lead up to and during the championship. And of course, allow me to thank all the media outlets for the manner in which you report on our championship. You bring huge colour, insight and knowledge to matters both on and off the field. My thanks to the players, management and representatives of the six unions for being here today, and I wish you all the best in the tournament ahead. Finally, I would like to introduce you to our new Chief Executive, Ben Morrell. We are indeed delighted that he agreed to join our team and are confident that the championship will develop even further under his tutelage and his leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome, everybody. Bienvenue à tout le monde and benvenuti in Italian. You're all very welcome to the official launch of the 2019 Guinness Six Nation. A quick introduction for those of who I haven't yet had a chance to speak to today. I am thrilled to be starting my journey as Chief Executive of the Six Nation, and consider it a tremendous privilege to be leading such a prestigious organization. I grew up in a cosmopolitan household in Paris, supporting Stade Français, where my father was French, but my mother British, with both English and Scottish roots. So you can understand why the Six Nations, actually 5 nations at the time, has always had a very special place in my heart. I take my new role with great ambition, combined with strong feelings of humility and responsibility. For 135 years, the Six Nations has been rugby's greatest tournament. And as we all look forward for the kickoff of this year's championship, it promises to be, once again, bring huge excitement and fierce competition. As our chairman just mentioned, we are also looking forward to another brilliant Women's Six Nations Championship, which is growing very quickly in popularity. I would also like to extend a very warm welcome to our new title sponsor, Guinness. Guinness has been a tremendous partner for many years already for our six unions. They have a fantastic track record of innovation, supporting and growing events which they've been involved with. And we look forward to working closely with them to grow our wonderful championship. I have no doubt we will be terrific partners to one another. A very warm welcome as well to our long-standing partner, TISO. We thank you for your continued support over the years. I would also like to thank the players, the management and representatives of the 6 unions for being with us today. I know you are all very busy with training camp this week, and we appreciate you taking the time to attend our launch and this wonderful, musical chair event that I've been witnessing all morning. I wish you the very best in this year's championship. To our broadcasters and to all the media, my sincere thanks for your unwavering support of our great championship. Each year, our 15 games are among the best attended and followed sporting events in the world, and a lot is due to your fantastic coverage. Fans love the tournament because it's always highly competitive and every game matters. The championship also creates that unique atmosphere where fans from all countries develop bonds and special camaraderie. This is unique to rugby and our championship in particular. As a tournament with incredible heritage, the Six Nations is truly peerless. So my very best wishes to everyone involved and the very best of luck to all the teams. On that note, I would like to introduce Mark Sands, Global Head of Beer for Diageo, who will say a few words on behalf of Guinness. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ben. And on behalf of everyone at Guinness, we're really proud to become the sponsor of the Guinness Six Nations Championship. Guinness and rugby has a long history together. We first started sponsoring Irish rugby some 30 years ago. We've supported many unions, lots of clubs, most recently, of course, with the Guinness Pro 14. And of course, lots of fans over the years have enjoyed the Six Nations with a cold pint of Guinness in hand on a crisp Dublin February day. And with this sponsorship, we're looking to take that association between Guinness and rugby to a new level. For us, the association is based on shared values. So that unique camaraderie of the Six Nations that brings rivals together over a pint of Guinness. We firmly believe in the power of sport to bring communities together, and we feel that our role as a sponsor is to work hard to make the experience for fans even better, whether they're in the stadia, whether they're in the pubs, or at home. It's a role that comes with responsibility as well. Wherever people are watching, we want them to be on their A game. And therefore, as part of this sponsorship, we're going to be raising awareness of the effects of alcohol, the importance of moderate consumption and of hydration. And we're going to have a new campaign launching to specifically communicate that. We're also really proud to become partners of the Women's Six Nations for the first time ever. Last year, I was at something called the Women's Sports Trust dinner. I was on a table hosted by Nolly, and that evening was a celebration of the success of women's sports, and it was also an encouragement to sponsors to get involved in women's sport. And at Guinness, we're really proud to have been able to take up this opportunity to further grow women's rugby as well. We can't wait for the next 6 years to start, 6 years to grow rugby's loyal fan base, to heighten the experience for fans in and around the stadia, 6 years to further promote the extraordinary changes in women's rugby and take that game to a new audience as well. And of course, 6 years to celebrate one of the world's great sporting competitions, the Guinness Six Nations Championship. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mark. Outstanding, not even a glimpse down. Quite brilliant oratory. Thank you very much indeed, and welcome Guinness to the Six Nations. In terms of some action now, we're going to show you a highlights reel, a video of last year's women's 2018 Six Nations.
Find out wherever they go.
stage, captains of the Women's Six Nations teams, and firstly for England, Sarah Hunter.
Guilhem Guirado representing France.
Next up we have Ireland's Ciara Griffin.
The captain of Italy, Manuela Farrell.
Scotland's Lisa Thompson.
And finally from Wales, Caris Phillips.
Some great highlights there, girls. Some very happy ones. Some less happy ones down the line, but that's all part of rugby. Sarah, I'll start with you. You have a cracking opener first up in Dublin. How are the preparations going for the England women's team?
Yeah, they've been really good, obviously, with the news in the new year that we were going to be full-time professionals, and we've had some good time over the last couple of weeks together. It's going to take time to embed that, but you know, we've made use of the time that we've had in the build-up to what will prove to be a very competitive opening fixture next Friday.
I mean, last year's fixture, 17,000 at Stade des Alpes in Grenoble, a 1-point narrow loss. This time it's in Doncaster. I noticed at the Red Roses you're taking games on the road to Doncaster, to Exeter, and a game at Twickenham. How important is it for the women's game to get around the country?
Yeah, it's hugely important for us to go and showcase the rest of the country what the Red Roses is all about and try and generate that fan base. We saw a real great crowd come out in Doncaster, and it's great to play at the home of English rugby, but you know, it's important for us to take the women's game around to really support what's being done in these pockets around the country, and you know, generate so wherever we go we'll have the Red Roses fans come and support us along the way.
Thank you, Sarah. Gael, groundbreaking year for you last year. Six Nations champions. You beat the Black Ferns for the first time ever. Now, obviously, it's been a great season so far for you, but how are you going to take that form into the Six Nations?
On sait qu'on va être attendu forcément par rapport au tournoi précédent, le fait qu'on ait remporté le Grand Chelem. Maintenant, nous, ce qu'on veut, c'est prendre les matchs les uns après les autres, promouvoir notre jeu, promouvoir notre identité sur le terrain, donner envie aux gens de venir, de nous regarder, de nous voir, et donner aussi envie aux jeunes filles de pratiquer ce rugby, d'y venir tout simplement naturellement. Et donc, nous, on a ces deux objectifs forcément, de prendre les matchs les uns après les autres, de faire mieux encore mieux que l'année dernière. Forcément, on a monté le niveau très haut, le curseur très haut, et on ne peut pas se permettre aujourd'hui de faire moins bien. Donc voilà, mais maintenant, on se focalise premièrement sur le match contre le Pays de Galles, qui sera à Montpellier.
Merci beaucoup.
Would you like the interpretation?
The interpretation, I think she was saying an exciting new squad, can't take anything for last year, our first up against Wales, and we must take one game at a time, nothing's for granted, and we go again this year. Is that? Okay.
I'm out of a job.
That's okay. Sorry. Sorry. Ciara, Ireland, we've spoken to Sarah. What an opening fixture, both in the men's and the women's game, to host England in that opening round.
Yeah, it's a great opener. It's a nice challenge to have at home, especially in Energia Park and Donnybrook. I suppose it's a pitch we want to make into a fortress for women's rugby in Ireland, and we're hoping that a good number come out and support the match on the 1st of February.
Just getting the stats right, you've been third, second and third in the last 3 years. The last time you won the Six Nations was 2015, so how do you recreate the 2015 form?
I suppose just hard work, keep working hard, believe in the process that we're trying at the moment. I suppose we're trying to improve and I suppose be more dynamic in our game plan. So we're going to keep going with the process that we have and just look for improvements each match and each weekend and try to make each performance better than the last.
Okay. Manuela, at the moment we're seeing some really great form in the club rugby in Italy, which has really developed over the last couple of seasons. How are you seeing that transfer into the way that you want to play as Italy and also the form having recently beat Scotland?
Sorry, I need just...
Ha detto che il gioco di società sta crescendo molto in Italia, quindi come vedi che questo si possa riflettere nel gioco nazionale? Noi abbiamo visto cose splendide dall'Italia, abbiamo visto che avete battuto la Scozia, cosa vi aspettate in combinazione con la crescita del gioco nazionale?
Sì, fortunatamente penso che forse anche dovuto ai risultati che noi abbiamo portato, tante ragazzine in Italia si stanno approcciando al nostro sport, il che è una cosa meravigliosa e dà la possibilità a tante piccole realtà di crescere. E questo per noi è un'ottima cosa perché il nostro bacino si può allargare e dà appunto la possibilità di continuare il lavoro che abbiamo iniziato.
It's great for us to see how much the sport is growing in Italy. It's certainly on the stream of our success on the pitch, and the example we give all these young players that are coming to play rugby with enthusiasm and growth. Obviously this plays both ways. They follow our example, they increment the interest in the game, they will be the players of the future, so it's really, really exciting to see how things are growing in Italy.
And with that, you're also seeing increasing crowds. Last year, there was a fantastic crowd hosted for our fixture. Is that something that really excites the players as well?
E anche il pubblico sta crescendo di conseguenza. Che sensazione si prova a giocare davanti a degli stadi pieni, un pubblico che è veramente coinvolto?
Beh, mi auguro che anche questa cosa sia a incrementare, che ce ne sia sempre di più, perché è proprio vero che a volte il pubblico riesce a tirarti fuori quella parte in più che normalmente magari non riuscireste a dare. È il classico 16° uomo in campo che fa tirare fuori a tutte il meglio di sé.
It's something else we want to see grow and grow forevermore, because we know how important that 16th man that are there to watch us are for us. It's like having a fifth gear. Very often we wouldn't find the extra sprint without the help of all the people who follow us.
Thank you, Manuel. Lisa, in terms of 2018, you added some serious depth to your squad, 12 new caps. Who are the players that everyone should be watching out for in your Six Nations?
Like you said, we've got some depth there coming through, like Siobhan Cadigan, Megan Kennedy, those girls, and they're key players in our squad just now. With the likes of Jade being out, Siobhan's really stepped up in the back row and carried hard and sort of filled her place just there while she's been out injured past few months.
This is your 4th campaign, but your first as a Six Nations captain. What are your personal goals during the course of the season?
I think personally just look to lead by example, and hopefully the players will follow and we'll get some good performances out in the championship.
Thank you. And finally, Caris, you found some really good form over the autumn. You beat South Africa. You nearly beat Canada in a great fixture at Cardiff Arms Park. Are you taking that form into the Six Nations because you have had injuries and different players coming in and out, but do you feel you're in a good place?
Yeah, definitely. I think with the autumn series we've had some great performances and great results, so I think having a competition like that, a successful one as well, leading to the Six Nations is fantastic for us. And like you said, with injuries with different players, but we've developed now the youngsters through, so we've got 18-year-olds on 8 caps, so I think that's definitely a great step for us.
Thank you. So I think we can all say a massive thank you to all of our women's captains, and a really good luck for the champions coming up. So now for some highlights from the men's 2018 championships.
Stage is set. Ford nearly out to there. Immediately Watson. How the Italians have responded. Checking Thomas is going to score for France. Ireland have stolen the game.
Oh, interception. Canelo comes to scrum halfway
for the line for Wales.
What a tackle from Keith Earls.
Says it all.
Oh, crashing his way through. Eddie Jones, England, stunned. They have so rarely tasted defeat. And looking for support now. Watkins steps around Parisse, and George North is in. Tried. Minotti with those quick feet. Oh, he's done it.
He's boosted through it. Gaël Picoult scores for France.
What a score! A win for Scotland, for Murrayfield to celebrate.
Stockdale going for it. It's a green slam in 2018. Ireland history.
I'm sure you'll agree, my heart rate's racing and looking at the boys looking watching the games. If we can welcome up the male captains, and first Owen Farrell from England.
Following Owen will be Guilhem Guirado from France.
And from Ireland, Rory Best.
Italy's captain Sergio Parisse.
Greig Laidlaw from Scotland.
And finally the Welsh captain Alun Wyn Jones. I've got to get my terminology right, co-captain, but certainly for the first game, captain with Dylan out. How are you approaching that role, Owen? Does it change you as a player in any way?
Not too much, I don't think. I think we're very lucky in the squad that we've got. We've got a lot of leaders, a strong leadership group, and a lot of other people that lead the team in their own ways as well. So I think it's important for us when we get together today to make sure that we gel as soon as possible on or off pitch.
In terms of as soon as possible, you faced the Green Slam champions in the opening round. In terms of your combative side that you have, how are the boys relishing that challenge?
Yeah, as I said, we only meet up today, so we'll definitely be looking forward to the game. But we need to get our preparation right. We're looking forward to getting out to Portugal this afternoon and really ripping into to preparing well, to feel confident for the game, because we need to make sure we're right at our best.
And without undermining it, the strapping doesn't suggest a major operation. Is the hand okay?
No, yeah, it's fine.
Little one.
Guilhem, so there were some strong performances from France last year. Who would you say are the key players for you this season, and also the ones that are going to sprinkle that French magical dust on the field for us?
Effectivement, on va essayer de remonter le niveau et de faire encore mieux qu'on l'avait fait la saison précédente. On sait que pour nous c'est une année impaire, donc ça va être compliqué de se déplacer 3 fois, mais on va se préparer surtout à bien commencer ce premier match contre le Pays de Galles vendredi prochain. Et on espère que ce qu'on a pu entrevoir sur la tournée d'automne va nous permettre de retrouver la confiance pour bien commencer ce premier match.
I don't want to offend the translating you.
No, you won't offend me, but if you push me to go ahead, I will, yes? Just to say, well, we hope to do better. Of course, this year, 2019, is an odd year. And when I say odd, I don't mean in the sense of bizarre. I mean that it's not an even year, and that means that we play away on 3 occasions. And our focus has to be on our first game, Friday week against Wales. Everything that was good about the autumn internationals, we have to make sure that we reproduce those things and indeed do even better.
Rory, in terms of Ireland, it's not the first time you'll enter this tournament as favourites, but in a World Cup year, is there any baggage there, or is it all upside being ranked as the top dog?
I think it's something that we're not necessarily focusing on, favourites. I think that's something that is external to the group. And we met up on Sunday night and we just basically talked about making sure that we prepare well. Over the last number of years, and our good performances have come whenever we've had really good preparation, and I think on Saturday week it's going to be no different. I think to beat a very strong English team, we're going to have to prepare well, because we know we're going to have to play very well.
In terms of the great sides that have been in this tournament, there hasn't been a team that's gone back-to-back since 2000, so why can your fans feel confident that Ireland can achieve something so rare?
I think it's going to be a massive challenge. I think that there's a reason that with so many great teams throughout the tournament that you have to go right back to 2000 to get that, and that's because it's very hard to do. Grand Slams itself are very hard to do, but I think for us it is always about making sure that we're right to go. It's very boring and it's a bit cliched, but we need to make sure that we prepare well and take every game as it comes. And I think there's no greater game to start a tournament with to sharpen the mind than England.
Sergio, in round 1, you are set to become the player with the most amount of appearances in Guinness Six Nations history, taking over the one and only Brian O'Driscoll. In terms of what it takes to be able to perform that many times, what have you done, but also what is special about the Six Nations in terms of bringing performances from players year on year?
Well, I'm really lucky to play since a few years with the Italian team and be part of this tournament, and I'm really proud of it. But I don't like too much to talk about the past and what I did. Or I just want to focus on the present, and obviously personally, doesn't matter how many games you play. Every single year you'll be judged for your last game. Doesn't matter if you play well the last game, you be judged for your next game. So personally, I'm really looking forward, really exciting to start this Guinness Six Nations, and I'm really looking forward to start with a good performance and against Scotland away. So it's going to be tough like every year, but we want to honor the competition, honor the jersey, and put the best performance every single game.
And will we see any new Italian tricks this championships?
No, it's just, you think if you're talking about the game against England, yeah. No, people think, it's, we want to try to focus in ourselves and playing our best game. We're not here to just talking about tricks or whatever, but just trying to do the simple things well, and trying especially to have the good mental approach, because we show the world world that we can be competitive. There's not enough, we're not happy just to be competitive, we want to target and achieve wins, but we are a team that we have to have a good mental approach, more than 100% to beat all these big nations on the championship.
Thank you.
Greig, in terms of Scotland, on a bit of a roll, two sides in the quarter-final of Europe, BT Murrayfield becoming a fortress. Is it easy to put a finger on what's changed under Gregor?
I think it's been slowly progressing, to be honest. Over the years, I think you've seen the steady sort of increase in our performance, and I think this year in particular, I think it's tremendous that the pro teams are both doing really well in Europe and both into the quarter-finals. And but we've had confidence before, and we've come unstuck, especially last season in the first game of the championship. We got dusted up down in Wales, so that's something we're very wary of. Confidence and people talking you up or whatever, that takes you so far. You've got to go out and perform. That's something we're working hard towards this season, and Sergio touched upon it. We play these guys first up. It's going to be a tough game, and Italy always proved to be a tough game for Scotland, and history will show us that. So we're preparing well for the first game, training hard, and just keeping our heads down and keeping things within our little circle.
For those of us in the room with a few grey hairs, 1990, David Soul walking out, that incredible performance, that crowd. Murrayfield seems to be just coming alive again with the quality of rugby they're watching.
Yeah, I think we've really reconnected with our people back up in Scotland, which is awesome for us as within the team to see. We've sold out 14 of the last test matches now, which is brilliant, and they're all selling out quicker and quicker. And for us to see that, to hear that through the media, through the coaches and stuff coming back to us, it just gives us that sense of a real connection with our people and real pride as well. And we've got a good record going up at BT Murrayfield now, and that's something we want to progress and build on top.
Alun Wyn, after a hugely successful autumn series, you look like you're going into the championships in a really great place. You've got some really good home fixtures, and including Super Saturday. So what does success look like for you and Wales in the Guinness Six Nations?
I think you've got to look back a little bit before you look forward. I think we've got strength and depth now, something probably we haven't had in the past. I think if we can get a good result in that first game, we've got a foot in the door, and then anything can happen from there. We've got a squad that will get healthier through the competition, so that's a positive in itself. You look at the fixtures before you go into the game, and people are always raising eyebrows at what games are happening when. We'd like to be part of a big occasion at the end of this competition, and we feel we've got the people to do it.
And from a Guinness Six Nations perspective, we'll bid farewell to Warren at the end of this championships. How do you sum up the legacy that he has left and contributed to Welsh and European rugby?
There's been a lot of romantic things said about Gats today, but it's going to be business as usual. There's going to be no cakes and candles at the end of the Six Nations because there's a big season. But you know, he's been uncompromising in his approach to asking as much as possible from his players, and it's the biggest mark respect you can give as a player is to perform for your coach, and that's what we'll focus on.
Thank you, and join me in saying thank you to all our captains. So thank you to everybody that has come today and this afternoon.
12 great captains who will all do their countries proud, and we hope you all enjoy the Guinness Six Nations.